Today, we're going to explore a really radical new way of seeing people. I mean, a way that goes way beyond their surface level behavior and gets right to the hidden machinery that makes them tick. So here's the core idea, and it's a big one. A person's personality, all their quirks and defenses, that isn't who they are. No, it's the answer they've built to a single hidden question they've been trying to solve their entire life. And that's the question, right there. This one, single, terrifying question is the invisible engine driving pretty much everything we call personality. It's a question of pure survival. And its fuel? Well, that's one of our most primal and, frankly, most misunderstood emotions. Now, to really understand this engine, we have to start by completely reframing one of our most difficult emotions. We need to stop seeing shame as some kind of moral failing and start seeing it for what it really is, a feature, not a bug. This slide really gets to the heart of the shift we have to make. I mean, look at the left. That's how we usually see it. Shame is a personal flaw. Something's wrong with us. But the view on the right flips it completely. It's not about being bad. It's about an ancient survival system that's designed to keep us alive. Think about it, right? For our ancestors in these little tribes, being cast out wasn't just lonely. It was a literal death sentence. So our nervous system evolved this incredibly powerful alarm bell for social exclusion, treating it as a threat more dangerous than almost any physical pain. And that alarm, that's shame. Okay, so if we're all walking around absolutely terrified of this kind of exposure, how do we protect ourselves from that alarm bell ever going off? Well, we build armor. We create masks. And this is the key. Those personalities we build, the charming one, the super competent one, the intimidating one, they're all just highly sophisticated strategies for concealment. They're simply the most effective way our brains could figure out to hide the thing we fear the most. This table lays out a few of these strategies just perfectly. Take a look at the first row, the controller. Their need for rules, that's not just a preference, it's a shield against the fear of surprise. Or check out the performer, all that charm, all that energy. It's a desperate fight against the fear of being forgettable. Every single mask is a direct answer to a very specific hidden fear. But here's where it gets really interesting. This hidden fear, it isn't completely hidden. It leaks out. And it leaks out in the words we use when we judge other people. This quote, "This is a profound shift in thinking. An insult stops being some random attack and it becomes a terrified confession. When someone insults another person, they're not really talking about them. They're unconsciously drawing a line in the sand, screaming, 'I can never, ever be seen as that.'" And what's wild is you can actually decode this. This 4-step process, it's like a key. You capture the specific word they use, you figure out the category of the judgment, you measure the emotional energy behind it, and then you just flip it. You flip the insult to reveal the hidden sentence they can't bear to admit about themselves. All right, let's test this out. Let's imagine someone who is absolutely obsessed with strength, and their go-to insult for anyone they don't like is just weak. So what's really going on there? What fear are they actually revealing? See, underneath that simple insult is an identity-level terror. The word weak makes them furious, not because they dislike weakness in other people, but because the possibility of being seen as weak themselves feels like a direct threat to their survival. Okay, what about this one? The person who is obsessed with authenticity and calls everyone else fake. We all know someone like this, right? What's the hidden fear there? This isn't really about a deep love of authenticity. It's about a deep, deep fear that their entire social world is built on a performance. And if that performance stops, they believe everything and everyone is just going to disappear. And it turns out these insults pretty much always fall into one of these 4 categories you see here: capability, character, belonging, or control. Each one of these is like a big signpost pointing directly to the kind of social judgment that person fears the most. Okay, so what? What's the point of seeing all this? Well, this is where this whole framework becomes truly powerful, because it can shift us from a place of judgment to a place of real, genuine empathy. We have to remember that wearing these masks, it comes at an enormous cost. It's exhausting. As you can see from this list, the controller never gets to rest, the achiever never, ever feels satisfied. And the key insight here is this: nobody would pay such a high price unless the alternative, being exposed, once felt infinitely worse. And once you see this machinery, once you see the deep, desperate fight for safety that's happening underneath the behavior, Judgment and cruelty, they just start to feel pointless. They feel stupid because you realize you're not looking at an ego, you're looking at a survival strategy.
And this right here, this is the ultimate takeaway. That argument you had, that difficult interaction at work, it was probably never about what you thought it was about. Underneath the fight to be right or the fight to win is a much more primal fight, the fight to feel safe.
So this gives us a new and I think a much more practical definition of empathy. It's not about agreeing with someone. It's not about condoning their behavior. It is simply about accurate vision. It's the ability to see exactly what they're protecting and them not feeling that need to punish them for it. And finally, of course, this lens isn't just for looking at other people. It's a mirror. Those insults that just jump out of your mouth, the people who instantly get under your skin, they are smoke alarms for your own hidden fears. Which leaves us all with a final question to really ponder. What armor did you build, and what was the price you paid to make it so strong?